Hello everyone, Derek here, and Chrono Trigger. Yes, Chrono Trigger. Not just randomly bring it up, although it is a very, very good game, but one of the questions on everybody's mind is, why isn't it on the Switch? Well, we don't know. We still don't know that. However, Yuji Horii, creator of Dragon Quest and steward of the series, was recently at a Comic-Con in Naples where he actually mentioned a Chrono Trigger remake. He just mentioned that a remake was on the table and then immediately had somebody next to him whisper in his ear, and he covered his mouth as in, whoops, shouldn't have said that, to the utter cheers of the crowd involved. And there are several reports on Reddit that corroborate this story. So yeah, we might be eventually looking at a Chrono Trigger remake, which is awesome. When will it come out? I don't know, but maybe soon, maybe some next year. Hard to say for sure, but the fact that anything like it is on the table and the fact that Horii is involved is a really good sign, and fingers crossed we get to hear something of it soon. Maybe Summer Games Fest, but who's to say for sure? Now, that's not the only bit of news we have, as other things have come out as well, including the fact that Nintendo stock has hit an all-time high in Japan as of yesterday. So yeah, people are kind of excited for the Switch 2. I think they're all looking at the excitement of pre-orders and people trying to get it. And the signs are on the wall that yes, the Switch 2 is going to be just as much of a success as the Switch 1. Will it be able to maintain that? That's harder to say, but people are definitely taking their existing love of the Switch, carrying it over to the Switch 2, despite the increase in prices, which we'll see how that all ends up, but people are genuinely excited for this new game. We get a new Mario Kart, and the whole shebang that we've talked about quite a bit up to this point. But it's interesting that the markets have taken notice as well, and that's even the case in the States, as the stock actually has gone up in the United States as well, where they've actually hit a similar record for the stock markets here, which is honestly all the more impressive considering how our economy is right now. So yeah, Nintendo is doing quite well for themselves. We'll see if this ends up mattering at all, but excitement is there for the Switch 2. Now, there is one other thing I want to mention as part of this news, and it's not huge or anything, but it does involve your Switch play activity, because now the activity log shows you games between 5 and 10 hours played. So, for example, if you've only played a game for 7 hours, it will show that you've played that game for 7 hours. Again, kind of a minor thing, but it's nice to have something more specific for those who like to track their game time, especially when you compare it to the 3DS, where they really clocked that and had down to the minutes of what you've played of a different game. So maybe the Switch will get closer, the Switch 2 will get closer as you get a better idea of what you've played, especially because a lot of people's libraries on the Switch are massive, and we've all played a ton of games on this thing. So we'll have to see. But that is all the news for right now, and it's all very exciting. So let me know what you think about the possibility of a Chrono Trigger remake, Nintendo stock prices, and everything else in between. Welcome, Kai, to the end of this video. And thank you all so much for watching. Be sure to subscribe to GVG for much more Nintendo. Say bye, Kai. Hey.
Bye, Kai.
Bye, Kai. And see you all later. Till next time. Bye.
Bye.